Hey, you know where we at? Big show go, big show go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video that we got going on in this travel series, and today we're headed to the beautiful city of Barcelona. I'm really excited for this one. So we're headed from Germany to Barcelona, and you know we had to take Ryanair. If you're unfamiliar with Ryanair, I definitely recommend it. It's my favorite way to travel through Europe. The flights are really cheap, and usually they're pretty quick too. From Germany to Barcelona, it cost me about $100, and it was an hour flight, so that just puts it in perspective on how good they are. So from the airport to the hostel that I was staying in, it was about a 30-minute car ride. And we ended up staying in this hostel called Kabul. Honestly, words can't even explain how good this hostel is. You just have to try it for yourself if you're ever in Barcelona. This was my second time staying here. They have a really good location. It's right by the beach. Central area, not too far from everything. They have bar crawls that go on. They have like so many events that go on, free drinks. And it's a really good environment. I'm not a real big hostel person. I think you guys noticed if you've seen my last video. But this one I definitely recommend, and this was my second time staying here. Also, I'm using this app called Hostel World. If you don't know how to book hostels or anything like that, if you're curious, go through Hostel World. You can book a hostel, and you can enter a group chat with everybody that's staying in the hostel. I think it's really convenient and a really nice way to meet people that are staying in the hostel. So this right here is the central square that the hostel is located in. I believe it's called Las Ramblas, but it has a bunch of restaurants, bars, and everything around it. A lot of people just chilling and relaxing. And yeah, a friend of mine and I decided to grab some grub right before we hit the city. Ended up making a quick stop at Zara. Got this little jacket piece, man. I might give you on there, but I had to do it. It was like $40 for the jacket. I haven't vintage shopped out here yet, but I'm trying to. So our first stop of the day was at one of the more popular buildings in Barcelona. This is Casa Baltio, and I probably butchered that name. I hear it so many different ways, but that's not the point. The point is, this building is very, very nice, and it's one of the more popular buildings, not even in Barcelona, but in Europe as a whole. As you can see, this architecture is crazy, and I think it was designed by somebody named Gaudi. I'm not really too big on history, but I just know that it looks really nice. One thing that I thought was really cool is these people that stand outside of this place take pictures of you, and they print it out in a newspaper. I think it's a really cool souvenir for most people to have, and the best thing is that it's completely free. They do ask for a tip, but it's optional. Obviously, we left a tip as a big thank you for the work that they do. So the next stop of the day was the Sagrada Familia. And even though we didn't make our way inside this time, it has an amazing view from the outside. I think if you're interested in going inside, it's around €50. Or I've heard from the locals that if you wake up early enough on Sunday, you can try to find your way into a church service there. But there's only a certain amount of people that they let in, so you definitely have to get there really, really early. So we just made it to the Sagrada Familia, and the last time I came here, it was like an open park. There wasn't much going on, but they have like a lot of shops going in the entrance area, and they're selling a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's because like it's Christmas time or what it is, but it's honestly like good environment. I think there's a lot more people here because of the shops. Ready? We out here flicking up at the Arc right now, man. You know we gotta get these flicks in. We got pretty music playing in the background. But it's a nice day. This is perfect weather. Amazing, amazing.
One moment, guys. One moment.
Yeah, we took some already. Thank you.
1 second. Where are you from?
I'm from Texas, man. Yeah.
Example.
Yeah, pull out the one from your shit and be like, yo, we got some. So as you can see, this is probably a big thing that's going on in every single touristy place, I guess. They're quick with it, man. If you go back in the video, you can see that the girl is laying down on the ground and she caught us off guard. So we thought it was funny, but they definitely got us. Mahalo. Do it. Alright, so like I said from the start of the video, vintage shopping was definitely on my bucket list of things to do here in Barcelona. We stopped at this place called Mahalo. And I'm not gonna lie, this place kind of let me down. If you see these prices, 75 euro for I guess vintage shirt and 85 euro for a jersey. Not speaking my language at all. It was a cool place though. They honestly had great music playing in the place, not gonna lie. And they had pretty cool clothes, I would say. But if you're in the area of the Arc de Triomphe and you're looking for a vintage shop, go hit up Mahalo, man. Not my taste, not for me, but I thought it was cool to go to. So after we left Mahalo, we ended up heading back to the hostel where we ended up getting ready for the nighttime. In the hostel, we played beer games and socialized a bit before we hit our bar crawl. And then ultimately that led us to Shoko. If you don't know what Shoko is, it's probably the most famous club in Barcelona. Right next door is Opium. We ended up going to Opium one night too. And honestly, if I had to compare these clubs, they're very similar. I think Shoko has probably the better environment and it's a lot bigger. But you can't go wrong with either one. I think Barcelona's nightlife is probably some of the best nightlife I've been in. I think everybody is in the club having a good time, dancing, drinking, all that stuff like that. And I feel like that's kind of hard to find nowadays. Good morning, everybody. Today, I am drained. We're heading to our first spot of the day. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about last night. Last night, we ended up going to Shoko and Opium. And we stayed in there till pretty much 4 or 5 a.m. And out of like the 3 nights I've been here, that was the earliest that we decided to come back. So I've been going through it. I've been really tired. But we stopped and we got some breakfast this morning. By breakfast, I mean pasta. But yeah, we ended up stopping at this pasta place. I went there the last time I was here. It's pretty much like a build your own pasta. They have a bunch of different options. But it was really good for like the price, whatever. It's like 13 euro. Honestly, it hit the spot. So hopefully that can give us some energy so that we can get to this first spot and actually have a good day, you know?
Yeah, the revolution, y'all. Yeah, the revolution. Everybody look into my life. Tell me what you see. The perseverance of a young man sitting is so free. LA Mac be the champ, but still fighting the struggle. They couldn't shut my mouth with a muzzle. I'm hard to figure like a puzzle.
So if you're in the area of Arc de Triomphe, I definitely recommend stopping at this park. The first day I was at the Arc de Triomphe, I didn't even know this park was right next door, but it's literally not even a 5-minute walk away. And honestly, it was one of the highlights of this Barcelona trip. Super calm, super nice park. Honestly, this little place that I'm in right now gave me like Italy vibes, and it kind of just reminded me of like when I was in Lake Como. And I think you'll see that here, but it was super nice, super calm. I feel like the majority of places that I went to during this entire trip was pretty much filled up with like tourists, including myself, you know, but this was one of the places where it was like you could really come here, get some really fire pictures, go to the park, just relax, chill. And I thought every part about this place was just breathtaking.
We understand our journey, so the dream is keeping me eager. I'm your guest speaker, play this loud through your speaker. The master of ceremony just stepped in the building. Once again, this is for the children. Let's start building. Carpe diem and seize the day. I want a clean slate, new beginning, gotta be a better way. A big dream always seems overwhelming, like dating two girls from Spelman. One with thick thighs, the other with a one-of-a-kind smile. Stay focused, don't fall for the hocus pocus. I wrote this so one day you and your son can quote this. One day it'll all make sense, I guarantee. Follow me if you really wanna be what? A EMCEE. I ain't talking about that blinky bling all up on the TV. Know your history, study officially. The revolution, y'all, will not be televised.
All right, so we're leaving the park that we just checked out, and if I'm being honest, super nice. I think it kind of reminds me of the little park that I went to when I was in Paris, but it was real nice, quiet. There's a lot of kids out here. I think like the schools bring them over here and they just play around and stuff like that. So I don't want to take too many videos just because I don't want people's kids in the videos, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird, but overall, I think I'd rate the park probably like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Definitely is way better than anything that's like in America. Like none of our parks like really touch these parks, but it's like attached to the Arc de Triomphe, which I didn't know because I was over here yesterday. And I guess I didn't walk all the way through it. So I missed it, I guess, but we're back again today. And it's really peaceful out here. You got a lot of people sitting, reading, having lunch, going on runs. But yeah. So a bit of story time for this next place that we're heading to. I ended up buying a bus ticket to get to where I needed to go, and I ended up getting on the wrong bus, right? I went about 2 stops, figured out I was on the wrong bus. I was supposed to be on the other side of the street. So I got off, ended up walking back, and then before I got on that second bus, I guess I kept my card out, and I left it on the bench, the bus bench right there. So they kept saying, like, in the bus, like, oh, if you don't have your bus card or whatever, you could be fined up to, like, 250 euro. And I tried to ride it out. I went about 10 stops, and then I was like, bruh, it would be my luck that somebody would get on this bus and ask me for my... And I knew I was going to need it on the way back. So I ended up stopping after those 10 or so stops and buying another bus card, which honestly sucks because that was, like, maybe 10 euro down the drain. So moral of the story is, hang on to your shit and don't be careless like me. With that being said, I think it was definitely worth it though after we got to this next spot. This is a spot that I recommend that you do not skip in Barcelona, and I recommend going around sunset time. That's what time I went. I'm not sure how it is during sunrise time, but there's definitely going to be a lot of tourists here. I got here kind of early where there wasn't that many people, but I kind of just sat, observed, and waited till the sunset, and man, it was beautiful. You got a view of the entire city up here, and it's crazy. Yo, funny thing is, I'm not even scared of heights, but I just walked over a bridge where all the wood is like creaking and moving, legit moving, like on some movie shit. I just took a video of it, and shit had me scared, bro, I ain't gonna lie. But I see the viewpoint that I'm trying to get to, and we're gonna walk back over there. We're gonna try to hit that viewpoint because the one that I'm at is really pretty, but I think the one at the top is gonna have the best view. So we're gonna try to get to that one. But this is insane up here. This is definitely the best thing that I've been to in Barcelona so far. It's amazing. You can literally see the entire city. It's crazy. The entire city. You see the water, all that. So to get to the top, the viewpoint that I was talking about, you're gonna have to hike up some stairs. Should take you about 3 or 4 minutes, but I was out of breath for some reason, so I guess I need to hit the gym. This place up here is definitely going to have a lot more tourists up here. There's a lot of people just sitting and relaxing, but you're still able to secure a spot up here if you're looking. That's why I say get here early. If you come with a big group, I honestly think that'd probably be better because you could secure an area rather than just squeezing in with a bunch of random people. But everybody up here was kind of chill, so I think it was a good experience for me. And the view from up here definitely didn't disappoint at all. And as you can see, I kind of got lucky with the day that I went. The sun was hitting like crazy, and it was setting off more on this right side, and you couldn't really see it from the viewpoint that I was at. So made my way over to like this right side of the entire place, and honestly this was like a hidden gem for real. You couldn't see exactly as much as what you could from the top, but as you see, I'm by myself, so if you're the type of person that gets like social anxiety whenever you get around a lot of people, this might be the spot for you. If I had to rate this off a first bite, getting a smooth. Just dropped my cheese, bro. I just dropped like 3 pieces of cheese. Fuck it, we feed the fam. I just put all of them, all 3 together. Meat, cheese, and the bread. It's like croutons, pretty much what they gave me. 6 out of 10. Not going higher than 6 out of 10. If anything, the croutons and the cheese taste better than this meat. She said it's high quality meat. It was €750 for what you see in my hand, which is tiny. First impression, first bite, kind of tastes like beef jerky. But I think that's just the broke in me speaking. It's obviously way better than beef jerky. But everybody says it's like the best thing you gotta try. When you go to Spain, you gotta try this. Maybe in the markets it's better. Not getting over 6 for me. So as I headed back to the hostel, I actually talked to some of my roommates about it, and they said that I definitely went to the wrong place. There's a market that's right outside of the square that I'm staying in, and it's a pretty famous market. I can't think of the name right now, but they say that's probably the spot that you should go for it. I didn't end up taking any videos of that here, but I recommend it if you can find it. That's pretty much going to cap off the video. If you guys stayed to the end, I appreciate you guys for watching. It was my time in Barcelona. I had a great time, and I definitely recommend it to everybody. If you're interested in more content, please check out my next video. Later.